The Occupy ICE movement has been going on for a little more than a month now. Actually, like, it started off in Portland after some people were having like a candlelight vigil, and they ended up saying like, hey, you know what, like, fuck it, why don't we just stay? You know, we don't have to leave. And so it's been about a month now since that started, and that camp has grown a lot. They've got barricades and everything, and then occupation started popping off all over the country, and we had an initial try that failed, but here at this facility. But then on the 17th, Portland put out a national call to action against ICE, like for the 17th, since that was their 1 month anniversary. And so we answered the call, and we're here now.
Cool. And why this facility? What happens here?
This facility is like a processing, again, it's all hazy, and it's like that on purpose. But basically, this facility brings people in, detainees in from other actual like detention centers.
Gotcha.
And like the jail, potentially. They bring them in, they keep them here for a little bit. If you were here during the weekdays, you see family coming in and out with their sons, their daughters, babies in cribs. Like, they're here to visit their families. And then once a day on weekdays, a bus comes in, fills up with people. About 30 minutes after, it leaves. Okay. Full of migrants.
Okay. So this is really like a processing kind of bureaucratic hub, stop, where people are processed, the paperwork is done, and then they're sort of
treated like cargo.
Shipped somewhere else.
People come in here and they say, all right, y'all, here's a work week, go, go, go. We gotta get one bus in, one bus out, like cargo.
Okay. So how long do you know how long people stay generally, like when they're sent to this facility?
We have no real clue. Like, one bus comes in and out every day, but also, and like overnight, there's like maybe a skeleton crew in here from what we've seen, but we've had like people come up and talk to us about how, like, yeah, our father is here, we're talking to him, and then they come back and they say, yeah, they say they're not going to release him today. And so we don't know 100% what happens here, but again, it's like that on purpose.
Okay. And is there a particular objective or demand that you're making? You're gonna camp out here until such and such happens? Until
this isn't here anymore. One thing we talk about is the workers here, they don't really know what this is, and again, it's on purpose. If you were to look at the building, and you probably have some pictures of it, it's like unmarked. The only real thing is like they kind of fly a DHS flag sometimes, and that's the only way you'd know, and if you saw the DHS vans rolling in. But from the workers we've talked to around here, because this is like in an industrial area, again, they're treated like cargo, you know. Truck drivers are here coming in and out, like this is the area they decided to put us in. We're talking to them and they have no clue what this place is. So they're all really surprised to figure out what this is. So like potentially having the workers become hostile towards this, and we don't want this to function anymore.
Right.
And the only way we really know about it is because a woman that we're working really closely with, and she's not here today, but her husband was being held downtown at the Geo detention facility without medical care for months. You know, he's been detained for about a year, and at every detention center he's been denied medical care. One morning, the morning before he was supposed to get out, because they have like a 48-hour period where ICE can pick you up and take you, and if they don't, then you know they can't do anything. You walk. But he was supposed to, at 11 o'clock he was supposed to get out. At 5 a.m. when everything was off, when the phones were off, when they can't find you, when you can't contact your loved ones, when everybody is asleep, they came in and they kidnapped him and they brought him here. And the only way we figured out where he was is because he was able to like call us, to give us a call, to give her a call and tell her like, I'm over here.
Yeah.
And that's how we found out what this place is, where it is.
Okay.
Because he called us.
Yeah. And how many more facilities like this are in town?
Like this one,
Or an ICE facility?
ICE operates.
On 410, right? There's like an office or something?
Yeah, ICE operates. It has, it's really like rooted into San Antonio. You have this facility, you have Geo, which is a private corporation, and supposedly like online they're not holding immigrants or anything, or it's a 72-hour facility, but like again, like Andres was held there for months, and he knows that there are migrants there held there for months in awful conditions. And so you have Geo, which is a big contractor with ICE, and again, that's the one that's in Portland. The original the original encampment started around at a Geo facility. And then you have Bexar County has a floor, because here in Texas we're like an SB4 state, which means like no sanctuary cities, that kind of stuff, and it means police are forced by law to work with ICE.
Right.
So there's pretty much a whole floor of migrants at Bexar County, from like people we've talked to inside or that have been inside, and you can hear like when ICE comes in, like everybody's like, hey, that's ICE. They walk around like the fascists they are, asking like, hey, where are you from? Like, hey, you speak English, you know, trying to pick people up. And then you have that you have that office, which we've searched online recently and we're not sure if it's still there, but it probably is still there, just quiet, or unlisted now. But yeah, you have that office, which is the field office. Then you have the office for the head agents, and then you have the actual Geo regional headquarters here in San Antonio also. So like a big contractor with ICE and just private prisons in general. Hi, friend. Sorry, we're conducting something, but I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so they are deep rooted here in San Antonio. We see DHS vans rolling in and out of here every day to like go and pick people up. Like, it's not nice.
Yeah. So how many people, like right now there's like 6 folks here. How many people are here usually at a time? What's kind of the total number of folks that have like come through? Because I would imagine y'all kind of take turns maybe, or rotate in and out. Usually
we have about 3 to 5 people. Usually it's in the nighttime when everybody's getting off work and the heat's going down, that people are like able to come down. And so like we usually have like, sometimes we reach like 10 people here in one night, just chilling, having, you know, a good day, taking up the space, plotting.
But and they haven't like hassled you or?
Surprisingly, no. Again, I think it's because we're in a completely different environment than a lot of other occupations, where like a lot of those occupations, like a lot of they take places in like actual detention facilities in downtown, whereas here we're kind of hitting them in another type of way. You know, we're hitting a lot of these people, again, this is speculative, but like a lot of these people I feel is like, or we've talked about being potentially like just paper pushers that are in here, like, oh, you know, and of course they're complicit in all this, and it's awful, but a lot of these people are probably like bureaucrats at making sure the machine is running. And again, in and out one bus every day, like, is probably their goal. And so they probably don't want to escalate things with us.
Tell me about what happened this morning, because it was significant.
This morning was our first official work stoppage. This morning was our first official work stoppage. We woke up 4 a.m. we kept an eye out because usually the cars come down or whatever, and we said we saw them turn in and come in to like log in. We ran up in front of the gate and we told them like, hey, quit your job. And you know, you can find like footage of that and you'll probably link it, but we told them to quit their job and we held that space in front of the gate for as long as we could. Or, well, we didn't have to hold that spot. They just kind of left. You know, it's 5 a.m. They were probably like heading into a shitty job. They're probably in a bad mood, and they turned around. Then down the street, they parked down the street, and then until there were about 5 cars. We held that space for about 30 minutes, and then they gave up and drove off.
Wow. Yeah.
And it wasn't until about 7:30 that anybody even came back. Like, so that was a few hours of work stoppage, and they're behind. And again, like I said, like they're here to like every day, like get something up. So even just gumming up the works for a few hours is like critical. Like I would guess so, is very critical.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is like at 7:30, one of the actual like meatheads that they hire, or like he was some motherfucker with a badge and a gun. He was walking around here trying to harass us in our camp, you know, poking at us, telling us like, why are you wearing a mask? Like, you know, just some cop. But yeah, he came by. He was trying to start shit with us. But that's really the most repression we've had. SAPD, they're you know, they're complicit in all this, but for the most part they're lazy bastards also. So they just kind of like shone lights on us, try to get us for something, but they couldn't, so they left.
Gotcha. And so just to kind of like to wrap up, I mean, thinking in terms of the people that are watching and listening today to this interview, what do you need? What are the, you know, sort of concrete either donation needs, or are there upcoming actions, or what do you need people to know? What do you need people to do?
I need everybody to know that this absolutely, ICE is an institution that doesn't need to exist at all. It doesn't need to be reformed, and it doesn't need to be replaced. It needs to be abolished, like full stop. As far as donations go, bring Raíces. Yeah, I mean, legal funds, we'll try to set that up, but like right now we're kind of okay with that. Bring yourself, like bring yourself and like a pallet of water and some snacks, and we'll be good, you know. Like if you're down here in the Central Texas area, we have like tents, we have places you can stay, so like you can make a trip out of it. Like come down, it's, what is it, 3523, you can see it from here, 3523 Cross Point in San Antonio, Cross Point Street in San Antonio on the north side, just right in the middle of an industrial park. You could probably hear right now a truck's driving through, they're all waving hi at us, like but yeah, that's what we need bodies out here. We need people.
And then it looks like on Tuesday also you're calling for, there's going to be a demonstration, right, on Tuesday 1 to 4.
Yeah, it'll
be a celebration 4 to 8.
Yeah, so on Tuesday it'll be our 1 week anniversary, and right now we're talking, oh right, yeah, you can hold it down or hold it up.
We can post it too.
But we're gonna have a noise demonstration 1 to 4. The bus, because they know we're out here, the buses, when they do come out, they had like an unmarked police car behind them honking their siren, so that the migrants inside don't talk to us or don't hear us. And so because of that, we took that as like a challenge, that, you know, we're not going to have our voices drowned out. We're going to make sure they know we're out here for them. So we're calling for a noise action 1 to 4 p.m. During the buses, and then we're just going to have a celebration 4 to 8 p.m. when it's cooler, probably have some music, probably get down here with food, get down here with snacks, and we'll celebrate 1 week of us holding the space in front of the federal property taking it, you know, taking it back, taking this land, and gumming up their works.